Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Our Isekai. I am your gracious, overpowered host, as usual, Uchenna.
And I am Faith, here for vibes as always. More rested. I actually slept 11 hours according to my watch. So.
Today, things are slightly different. So we're sticking, obviously, to the normal main. Green light, ship it, skip, no, red light, green light, this or that. There's no ship it, skip it this episode. However, in the main segment, we are doing betrayals instead of revenge. Sorry, we're doing revenges instead of betrayals, as we've done, I believe, the past 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah.
But we're still sticking with
The same format.
With the same format, so it's just revenges and then side characters that stole the show, and then we've got what's that last one? NHS diagnosis, right? Yeah. The ones that need help, right? And then obviously, like I said before, red light, green light, this or that, no ship it, skip it this episode. And so yeah, you can carry on with your first.
Okay. My first one is Revenge, is Kyoko from Skip Beat. It's not the typical revenge story where she's like on a hunt to do something. It's more like in the sense like she betters herself. Her revenge is bettering herself. She becomes one of the top actors in comparison to her ex-boyfriend, who's just a mediocre singer. He doesn't even like act or anything. He's just mediocre.
He's not actually mediocre. Shou is actually good at what he does.
Okay, Shou is good at what he does.
He's just
a dick.
Yeah.
But Kyoko proved him wrong. She said, not only can I be in the entertainment industry, I can get the top man in the entertainment industry.
No, she said she can be the top, not that she can get the job.
Okay, but she did get the top man.
I mean, that wasn't the intent.
That wasn't the intent, but she did.
She got there, yeah.
She did, right? And he got jealous.
Of course he did.
It's a ticking all boxes.
Yeah.
So,
and he ended up like having a whole fight with like another group in the book anyway. Not the book,
the manga, yeah. But yeah, Kyoko, the revenge story, it's not a typical revenge story, but it's fantastic in its own right.
And like she did it kind of for herself. Like during the process, she kind of has a whole self-discovery moment.
It's very much growth because she was working part-time and she was working part-time for a man who didn't even love her.
Yeah. And she made good friends along the way. And yeah, it ended up being good for her all in all. And she kind of abandoned the revenge anyway, and it kind of became a love story about.
It's a cute love story.
I'm still mad about it.
I don't hate the relationship, I think it grew organically because she wasn't looking for love.
Oh yeah, of course. It's just, I think the writer has problems. Oh.
She's on hiatus. Maybe she's going to stay on hiatus after hearing this.
Obviously, it's not easy either. It's not easy to I don't know, have your anime be picked up and then cancelled and then maybe not get as much support afterwards and stuff. So
that's true.
But it's a lovely story and I hope she carries on.
It's been a great story.
And I hope more people are introduced to it and push for her to finally finish the story because it's
I'm ready for her to come out with hiatus as well, to be honest, because I'm going to a point where I'm not even looking for updates anymore. I think I check on the updates on an annual basis. On an annual basis.
To see what's going on.
What do you mean? You've only released like 1 chapter in 3 months. I might as well just, wait until next year when you at least got 4 chapters out.
Yeah, it's hard out here. My first one is Kurapika.
I like Kurapika.
Post-production with Henna here. I ended up talking about Scar and not Kurapika here. I apologize. That was just me mixing things together. Sorry in advance. Fullmetal Alchemist, obviously Brotherhood.
Kurapika?
Yeah, Kurapika. Sorry, Hunter.
I was confused. I was like, wow.
My other one is Scar, but sorry, Kurapika from Hunter x Hunter.
Okay, yeah.
He obviously is on a revenge thing because his people were kind of massacred by the Führer, and he's angry about it. And his brother kind of was saving people. He was a genius. He was all there for peace, and he was the hot-headed one. And his brother was all very peaceful, and so he decides he'll take his brother's teachings or what his brother's kind of learned about alchemy, and just take revenge for his people. And then he gets there and he's doing all these things. He meets people. He finds out that the people that even live there, they're not even worth saving because they're all horrible and racist and assholes. And he's like, you know what, bet I'm gonna kill all of y'all. And obviously he bumps into the Elric brothers and Hughes and what's the name, the fire guy. And then obviously he also goes through his own process where he kind of learns more and he's like, okay, fine, it's not the people, it's actually mainly the father and the homunculi, like one set of people, And people obviously who are horrible people that like to experiment on people and kill people, the other fire guy. And so he learns about the true story because the people who even fought during the war didn't quite know why they were even going there to fight in the first place and killing all these people, because they were also being used, right? So he learns that, and then he kind of changes his ways, right? And at the end of it, he uses the alchemy that his brother learnt to kind of rectify the situation, blah, blah, blah. So I feel like his revenge was one that kind of, it's very complex, right? It's very, you see it even till today, you can kind of relate to it because someone does something to you and you immediately kind of want to retaliate, right? And but there are kind of complexities behind why that person so and so has done so and so to you, right? They haven't done it to you, they've just done it because it's their job type thing, especially now in today's political time, where it's like we're fighting against something that we don't quite understand, right? So yeah, I believe his I'm talking about Scar here. I'm so sorry. I started because it is kind of similar. I'm talking about Scar, not Kurapika. And then I intentionally started, I was going to talk about Kurapika and then I ended up talking about Scar. I'm sorry. I'm talking about Scar from Fullmetal Alchemist. His story, obviously, is very heartfelt. That's why kind of Fullmetal Alchemist is one of my favorite animes of all time. I watch it almost every year over and over again because it's that good. It's that entertaining and it's that like humbling, right? And it sticks with you. It sticks with you for a minute. So yeah, Scar. Sorry, Scar. Not Kurapika, Scar.
I was very confused.
I know.
You said Fullmetal Alchemist. I'm like, Kurapika is not from Fullmetal Alchemist. So I'll let you do your thing. I was like...
Because I've got two and they're quite somewhat similar, I guess. And it got all muddled up in my head. Apologies for those listening.
Okay, my next one is Kaneki Ken from Tokyo Ghoul. Obviously, we all know about his torture scene and the red lilies. Is it red lilies? Spider lilies. The spider lilies, which represent change in one's character in the animeverse. So he gets tortured, and then he's like, nah, not my friends, not my girl, not anyone close to me will experience this. So he goes on this whole growth arc. He becomes cannibal. He joins the society that was torturing him just to get stronger so he can fight them and grow that way. And then after it, he's like, Uno reverse bitches, I'm here to kill you all. He didn't kill them all. But the whole point of like, it was his sake of like, okay, I've been tortured, but I don't want anyone else that's close to me to experience this. So he becomes strong. He fights Jason. He loses his memory, but that's not it. And then he comes to himself and like, okay, what's happened to me is tragic, but I'm just continuing the cycle here. So he ends the cycle by defeating both sides, both the government side and both the ghoul, Algori. Is it Algori's side or is the other side of Algori?
I've only watched the first two.
Okay.
And part of the last one. So.
Anyways.
I'm sorry.
Takes revenge, gets his girl pregnant. He's happy.
But you mean the group with the girl's brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's that Algiri.
Because I know they both start with A, so I wasn't sure which one's which.
It's one of them, but that group shout.
Yeah.
That group shout.
He gets his revenge. He gets his friends saved.
But doesn't he follow them at some point?
Yeah, he joins them.
Right.
After the torture scene. He says he's leaving. And that's when he becomes a cannibal, so he joins them to get stronger. And after he loses his battle with the government side of things, he loses his memory, but then he regains his memory, defeats them, defeats Algori, and then goes back to his best friend and his family.
The blonde boy? He's still alive?
I think he dies at one point, but yes, he's still alive by season 3 when you see him.
Wow.
His best friend was there for quite a long time.
I didn't, but I haven't finished it. Maybe I should.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so now I will be talking about Kurapika from Hunter x Hunter.
One of Gon's friends.
So, yes.
Just to clarify. Because you're like, fire person. I was like, where are we going with this? I can't remember Kurapika with a fire person.
So, Kurapika's whole clan got killed. And the reason why they got killed was because they have this special eyes, the scarlet eyes. It turns green when they have heightened emotions, right? And why did they get killed off for their eyes? Because some random people who had money thought their eyes were pretty. And so a group who likes money or were gathering money for some reason decided they were going to hunt them, kill them,
Sell them all.
and sell the eyes. And obviously Kurapika was off on an adventure, having fun. He came back and everybody was dead. And so now he's on a mission to get those eyes back and to get revenge on the people who killed his entire clan. He was somewhat successful in terms of catching the man who is responsible, the leader of the group that's responsible. He kind of put a curse on him type thing. And then Kurapika is now hoping that the guy is dead, but he's not, because they found a Nen exorcist to do all sorts of stuff. And that was because Hisoka decided he wanted to... Anyway, that's by the by. Back to Kurapika. Anyway, according to Kurapika, he's got his revenge now, and he's killed Hugovin, he's killed Shaonak, he's killed the other one, a few of them at this point, and he's empty. And he's kind of out of control at the minute. He's popping pills. Did you know?
Was he really?
He is. He's losing his mind because he's using it to extend how long he can use a specific power of his for, and he's losing it. He's really losing it. Obviously, he's a hunter and he's taking all these reckless jobs. The current arc, he is... Oh, I feel sorry for my boy. I feel so sorry for my boy. Oh, boy, he's going through it. But anyway, his revenge, quote unquote, is kind of ongoing because he's going to find out that his so-called revenge did not revenge. The person who he wanted to suffer is not suffering, and he's going to lose it even more. And this is what happens, right? When you choose a specific life, or you go by a specific mantra and things don't really go your way, you got to learn from it. And we're going to see how Kurapika would how he'll be with this new. I hope the story keeps going because it's so interesting, and like we know so much more now about this world, and like we keep learning and it's just, you know what, I want to say how interesting, like right now, One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, they're doing this. I'm telling you, mate. When it comes to like how complex the world is, to be honest, I think Hunter x Hunter is like a bit higher.
Why is that?
Because we don't even know anything. So basically, the world that we know is just this tiny little bit in the middle.
Yeah.
And there's more.
But you can say that about any storyline, though, because we focus on just one aspect of a story most of the time.
Yeah, I know that, but like, well, for example, when they don't tease us, right, with the outside world. Like in One Piece, we're not teased about the real life, what's going on. They tell us what's going on. It's kind of like by the by. But in Hunter x Hunter, they're kind of telling us that we're going to eventually know what's outside.
Okay.
So that it's like we're being teased because they're going there right now. That's right. So the current arc, they're going there. They're going to the outside world.
So would you say it's similar to Attack on Titan, where it's alluded at the beginning there's an outside world that they haven't been to yet, and then they eventually do go to the outside world, outside of the what's it called, the circle?
Yes, but it's not a thing where, you know, it's made very clear in Attack on Titan. Don't go out there.
Okay.
It is storm. You know what I mean?
The Titans are gonna get you.
The Titans are gonna get you out there. Don't make unnecessary journeys. But in this one, it's there for the hunters. In fact, I believe majority of the people who live in that world don't even know about the outside world.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure they probably know that it's dangerous and that there's nothing out there because it's just water for like long time. So it's likely that the government is actually probably even hiding that from them. And the people that are going there are not part of the EU version of that world. Does that make sense? So it's like a world where there's royalty, and they go on this journey, they embark on this journey, so that it's the succession war, and he has so many kids, and for them one of them to become king, they all have to kill each other basically. Yeah. And then one of them will rule the land, right? And they're going on this exploration, and it's going to be so interesting, and we're finding out a lot of things. But Kurapika is the hunter in charge of keeping a baby alive, and the baby is one of the kids in the succession war.
Fantastic for him.
I know, yeah. And the spiders are on board the ship.
He's gonna kill them yet?
They've not met yet. Where I am, they haven't met yet.
Oh.
So he doesn't know. Yeah, exactly. He doesn't know that the spiders are there because to him,
he's killed
their
them.
leader's done for, and they've scattered.
Poor him.
Yeah. So yeah. Moving on to side characters that stole the show. If you aren't aware, this is obviously an anime edition.
Yeah, we go through cycles between anime, TV series, and movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
first.
so my first one is Erza from Fairy Tail. So obviously Erza has these incredible powers. Better than Natsu, better than Grey. Is it? Yeah, Fullmetal Grey. But yeah, because they're just very typical. One has fire powers, one has water powers. But she can do everything. There's not one version of her.
I believe Grey is ice.
Ice, then. It's a formation of water. But nonetheless.
Juvia is water.
Okay. Juvia's fantastic. She's so cute.
Yeah.
And her obsession with Grey.
Yeah, it's cute.
So Erza, she, depending on what transformation she has, it dictates her powers. Not only that, I feel like her background story that we get to know as we're going through the story, it's so interesting. Like, you wouldn't be able to tell, like, this person who's so confident in herself used to be a slave at one point. Like, from the way she carries herself, like, her trauma wouldn't be the first thing that you pick out from her. You'd be like, she's a strong, confident woman who goes for what she wants, and that's it. And I was like, to begin with, I was like, fantastic for her. And then we learn about her background story, and we're like, Natsu, you're just a baby. Like, what have you experienced? You're just crying to a dragon, and the dragon took care of you. Then he left, abandoned you. Okay, you had abandonment issues.
He had to leave.
Okay, but he's not Erza.
Fair, but trauma is trauma.
It's
not trauma Olympics here.
It's not trauma Olympics. I'm just saying, like, from what we learned about Erza through the story,
she
in comparison to
been
some of the other characters, I think I was really touched by how she carries herself and how she was developed in the storyline of Fairy Tail.
Yeah, and I believe that's probably why people kind of relate to her a lot more, and why she's one of the most memorable characters.
Well recognized as well.
Yeah. Of Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
I have paranoia. I'm just going to check that we are recording. Okay, back to me. My first person that stole the show. Who is my first person that show?
Revi.
Yeah, I'm going to do it in order. Okay, Revi. Now, Revi. My angry, laden, gun-toting, gun-slinging, chain-smoking, trauma-laced drama queen. She's just fantastic, isn't she? I mean, quick talking, insult throwing. She's everything. The way she interacts with the main character, the way she interacts with everyone else on the team, outside the team. She shows certain vulnerable moments, her movements, her quick-wittedness. It's very captivating. You see it, you're like, oh, she's cool, she's badass, you know. And she draws you in because you're like, oh, there's some trauma there. Like, you just wanna, but you're like, she's a very caring character as well, right? You can kind of relate to a lot of the things that she's kind of been through, and you can feel it as someone who's watching why she's the way she is. And I don't think they don't do it in a subtle way anyway. They kind of throw it in your face why she is the way she is, and there's no they're not explaining it, they're not apologizing for the way she is. That's just who Revi is. And that character, that loudmouthness, that gun shoot, you shoot first, you explain later behavior, it's just who she is, and it captivates you, holds you. If you're a child, you're still a threat. She don't give a fuck. You know?
Yeah.
If you're a maid, she would know, like, she just feels like something's off about you. And it's that thing about her character that just, it holds you, and it held me in. Because kind of, I forget the other guy's name, the black guy. Like, his character, right? He's just chill. That's it. Like, he stands out. He really does. And in moments where he should be doing stuff, he is doing stuff. But he's just pretty chill, right? But Revi is the one who, she takes in this guy that's just kind of a loser and doesn't really know what to do with himself. And she quite literally takes him in. But you wouldn't expect someone who seems to not care about human life to take a guy who's relatively useless in, but she's still valuing him, and she's kind. And so that's why I think she kind of stole the show, because she's badass. For a lack of better word, she's badass.
Okay, my next one is Karma from Assassination Classroom. So Karma, I would like to say, is like the third main character. So we got the actual teacher, then we got Nezuko, and then we have Karma. I think Karma stands out to me because he helps both these two people grow. So he helps Nezuko become more confident in who he is. I think Karma came in around episode 3. He got rejected from his first class and he got dropped down. And then he's there and he's like, oh my goodness, I'm in a class of delinquents, but he himself is a delinquent. When you see about Kwamen's backstory and how he used to traumatize his teachers, then you understand why he got dropped like from level B to level C. I don't know what level they are, but he dropped class groups anyway. And so he helps Nezuko go through this growth period. He helps the teacher, I forgot his name, in recognizing that Nezuko's talent, because beforehand Nezuko was very quiet and he didn't really show himself until this happened, and then he was like, you can do this, you actually have a skill to be an assassin. Problematic that these are kids who are trying to be an assassin, but he was like, you can do this. And sometimes you don't need a side character that's gonna take the show, but one that actually adds to the story, and I think he does add quite a lot to the story.
Okay, that's good. My next is Greed from Full Metal Alchemist. Greed, aka Lin. He's funny. He's like the one, I think, obviously because he's a greedy guy, right? So
it's part of his character, though.
It's just, it's part of his character for him to just look for anything that's to his best interest, and if that's gallivanting, and that's what he shall do. If that's breaking out of the 7 deadly sins and not listening to the father, that's what he shall do. And that is what he did. And I feel like him even at the end kind of helping the Elric brothers, the kind of the way the whole story even played out in the first place, because he was just doing his thing, really. When all the bad stuff happened, he went off to the east, I want to say. And obviously he came back with the girl and the panda and all that stuff, and he helped, and he gave them pivotal information about father, and then he went off kind of fucked up. It was like, wow, this is your stuff now. Bye. So yeah, I although he doesn't steal the show, but I think he leaves you. He adds to it. He adds to it.
Like, that's why I said sometimes the character doesn't have to do much. They just add to the story.
They don't have to be a Revi.
Yeah.
But sometimes they sprinkle a little something here and there. And his was comic relief mostly. Even when he got serious, he still got his ass kicked, but still, it was very interesting and very funny. It was fun character.
Yeah, he was. Next on my list is Elle from Death Note. Elle he's just a boy, you know. He's just a boy who likes to investigate things. So much investigation that the police task force asked him for help to catch who God was, the one who was killing Kira.
You know what was so funny? I remember when I first watched it. So I didn't watch the anime. I watched the Japanese live action of it first.
Really and truly?
Yes, in Nigeria. And
I'm surprised you went to the anime then, because the live action was not great in my opinion.
Oh, so at this point, I did not know it was an anime.
Oh, okay.
I was very young. And I remember being confused about who Light and Elle was. And I was like, what is going on? My little brain couldn't hack it. My brain was like, and then they introduced the girl. And I'm like, who is this?
Misa?
Yeah. And obviously with the way Elle was and with the way he hunched and everything, I was just like, what? As a child, I was so confused. He's
just a boy.
Obviously, I had no business watching that. Yeah. As a child, no business. I don't think I was even 8 yet. Because this was before 2006 for sure. And I was like 10 then. So this is way, way before that. I had no business watching it. No business.
See, I watched the anime, and so Elle is very awkward when we see him. But as I said, he's so smart and so intelligent. The police task force helped him catch Kira, asked him to help catch Kira. And I believe from the get-go, he knew Light was Kira, but he was having so much fun. He said, nothing has stimulated me the way you are stimulating me. Yeah. Like, I like this cat and mouse game. You know I'm onto you, and I know I'm onto you. But this is fun.
But like, I think because he's so calculated, right? And everything has to make real sense, real life sense. He always second guessed. It was like, surely not.
I don't think he second guessed himself, to be honest.
I believe that he did, because it didn't make sense. Like, he was like, he's very 1 + 1 = 2. 1 + 1 wasn't equaling 2, because what Light would do was he would write the exact time and everything and place and everything when it would happen, and he would be with him Light would be with Elle as that person's dying.
Yeah.
So he had an alibi of sorts. So to Elle, it did not make sense, but he knew that something was wrong with that boy. He just didn't know what. Sorry.
That's okay.
Carry on.
But yeah, I think Elle just had fun, to be honest. He was very awkward to begin with, but then you get to know him. You're like, you're just a boy that's having fun playing like cops and robbers. That's literally
Dead ass cops and robbers.
Yeah.
Fair.
That's and I feel like because of who he was, I think he was the best. Is it antagonist?
Oh, like hero.
He's not a hero. He was the best side character for Light. Like he added to the character.
Oh, okay. Protagonist.
Protagonist. Okay.
Antagonist, bad guy. Protagonist, good guy.
Who was a good protagonist for Kira in regards to the storyline?
Let me Google.
Well, that's what I was questioning before we go live.
Let's Google.
And I say, and someone was like, no, he was not a protagonist. He was an XYZ. Antagonist. I was correct. So that says antagonist is a character that forces that opposes the protagonist and creates conflict. So because Light is the main character, he'll be the protagonist, right? He's not either good or bad, but we find out later he is just bad.
Right, yes. And Light is the antagonist who is opposite to what?
Yeah, so Elle's an antagonist. So yes.
Right, so you were right.
Elle is a great antagonist in this storyline.
Yes.
Now that I know how to use the correct word.
But see, I fell into the whole one's good, one's bad thing. Yikes. No, carry on.
No, I'm done.
Oh, okay. So my next one is Nezuko from Demon Slayer. She doesn't really do much.
She's great.
Calm down. She's on my list of people who stole the show. Calm down. Calm.
You may continue.
I was going to continue. Okay, so this girl don't speak, brother. Yes. She doesn't say anything. She mainly growls and like nods her head and acts all cute.
Yeah.
But still, she has so many people's hearts. Why? Because of her actions, because of her powers, and because of heart and the relationship between her and her brother.
Yeah.
And it is insane how a character that doesn't say anything, right, evokes such strong emotions in people. It's the moment where she comes out, right, and she from the bag. The first time she comes out and she defends her brother.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic. Cinematic gold. Last minute hero behavior. I mean, she has outstanding moments. And it's also that moment where we realize she can also stand in the sun. My God.
She's OP.
Quite literally. She's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And she's cute.
She's adorable.
Especially when she shrinks back into her little...
And she's also badass in demon form.
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Like, don't play with her.
No, don't play with her. Don't play with Nezuko at all. And
don't upset her brother.
Yes, and don't upset her brother. And she's just so cute. And the one that has a crush on her is just so adorable watching all that interaction. And yeah, I think she's a great character. She steals the show from her brother to defend her brother. Her relationship with her brother is kind of the driving force of the story, obviously. And yeah, she's got heart. She's a great character, in my opinion.
Okay.
And every time she's on screen, it's all about her from that point on.
Is it really?
Yeah. When she's fighting, she's fighting.
Okay.
Like it's mainly her just killing it when she's fighting.
Okay. Last for me is Celty, the headless rider from Durarara. So, Celsi, she's a bitch. She's a sassy little bitch, but she's in love with a scientist.
She's that girl.
She's in love with a scientist. She's a nerd. She is. And then when we first see Celti, I think we just see her body. We don't see her head yet because Isaiah has her head. Why Isaiah has a head? I do not know. He's just there for bands. Honestly and truly, Isaiah is there for bands. In fact, I wouldn't even put Isaiah and Celti in the same category as side characters that stole this show. Because with comic relief, they both do it for me.
Yeah.
They're both very smart. They're both very calculated. I mean, Isaiah does not have a love story, but that's because he's very independent. He's very self-assured. And
I actually thought she was the main character, you know.
What, because we see her first?
Yeah, and like you mainly see her as well. So like I thought at the start though, obviously I learned better.
You can say the same about Isaiah though, because Isaiah takes up Everyone's
lot.
talking about Isaiah.
Yeah.
Everyone is talking about Isaiah. Good or bad?
Everyone's talking about
Everyone's talking about getting Celty's head. Because what does Celty know that everyone's trying to get out from her? Because goodness me, why does everyone want her head? I actually haven't read the manga, so I don't know what's happened.
Yeah, me either. Maybe I should.
But yeah.
Should I?
I'll consider it. But Isaiah and Celty, they both... They don't only just add to the storyline. I feel like they are the storyline to begin with. Until we get to know, like, the broader story, but they are like the broader story stems from both of them. I feel like without Isaiah playing everyone like a chess piece, without Celty losing her head and everyone trying to capture her head,
and
there isn't
her
much
looking for it in the first
and her looking for her own head as well. It's
poor woman.
Yeah, they are just both great characters in their own right. I feel like I'd even appreciate having a standalone anime that's focused on neither one of those two characters.
Yeah, fair play. My next is Shoto Todoroki. Now, from My Hero Academia, he starts off this seemingly rich asshole, legacy twat. And then obviously you find out his dad, his mom, the whole story. It's just so sad. And then he grows, and then like he's actually not so bad, and he takes in what's his face?
Itadori?
Yeah,
Is it?
Deku. That's it. Kind of takes him as a friend of sorts, and like he becomes not so bad when you learn the stuff, and then the stuff about his brother. My God, poor that family. Talk about traumatic family.
Trauma galore.
But yeah, he starts off with a guy with daddy issues. He's got ice, he's got fire. I'm never gonna use the fire side, and obviously he does. And Endeavor's all proud of him, and blah. Anyway, yeah, he ends up being a good friend to the main guy. It's Deku, and it's all nice, and he's healed, and you like him, and he grows on you as a character. Yeah. That's the end of that segment. We will now be moving on to NHS. Those that needed intervention.
So mine is going to be based on Steins Gate. So I'm going to do the four main characters of Steins Gate. So we're going to see, thank you, Okabe, Karisu, Mayuri, and Itaru, also known as Daru. So those are what I'm going to go with.
So we're going to do all of yours, and then I'll do all of mine.
Okay.
So we just kind of...
My first one is Okabe. So Okabe is PTSD and survivor's guilt. So PTSD, he has to see the girl of his life die over and over again. And I can't fathom that, because to the psyche, that's a breakdown. Each and every time, that's like he doesn't even get a period to mourn, because once he's experienced it, he goes back into it like, I have to fix it, I have to fix it, I have to fix it. And then he has to see her every day at the same time. So not only is he experiencing her death on repeat, he's seen her on repeat straight after he's witnessed her death. And he doesn't have a period of grief. He just goes on and goes on and goes on in this cycle. And each time the cycle happens, as I say, he has survivor's guilt, because he's trying his best to save his friend and save the girl that he loves. But all his actions aren't happening until you reach like the last episode when it's just her and him. And she's like, you need to stop. Like, we've been through this, me and you. I've experienced my own death, and you're experiencing my death, because we later find out that she remembers each time she has flashbacks or she has dreams of her death. And she's like, we're going through this cycle. Like, we're trying our best. I'm trying to do something different. You're trying to do something different. But we both come to the same conclusion. I die, and our friends die, and we both go back in the cycle. You just have to let me go. And he doesn't want to accept it. He was like, you be my girl. Like, we've grown up together. I've been in love with you. He's like, you're my girl. How can I give up on you? Even if I have to see you die 1,000 times, at least that's 1,000 times of me trying to save you. And it just breaks your heart. So Mayuri was right. He does need to give up on trying to save her and his friends, so he can properly grieve and end the cycle, because the cycle is the actual problem that's caused his PTSD, that and the death. But yeah, recommendations: stop experimenting.
Yeah.
Move cities so you're less triggered.
I'd say.
Find new friends.
Yes,
because
you can do it.
Yeah. Start again. Go back to uni, because you love education. You love studying. Just don't experiment. Just do the research side of things without experiments. I don't know how you can do that.
Yeah, that's not possible.
Okay, go back to uni.
Experiment on other things,
Be a gardener. Okay, relax your mind. Take the stress away from you. Do something non-experimental.
Just leave time alone.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, it's outside.
But yeah, Okabe and his PTSD from trying to save Mayuri. Following on to that, next one is Mayuri herself. So, as we said, she has flashbacks, she has memories of her death. And to begin with, I just thought she was just a quiet girl. And then I saw the sadness in her eyes. And then when I find out this, that she remembers things, I was like, the sadness in your eyes makes sense. You're depressed because you're seeing the grief of the person you love as well.
And it's like she's having to relive it all over and over again.
So like she's depressed and she has PTSD. So because she's trying her best to be cheerful, she's trying her best to show her support to her friends and to Okabe. But at the same time, because she is depressed, she can't always express herself properly. Until it came to the final straw when she's like, I'm done. I don't want to do something more with you. Like we've tried our best. Let's just stop. So for Mayuri, I think for her, I think she should just walk away. Walk away from Okabe and walk away from your friends. I know it's gonna be hard because you've also wanted to save them with Okabe, but I feel like if she walked away, maybe something different might have happened. I'm not saying something will happen differently, but maybe she can find happiness in the short time that she has somewhere else. Maybe she might find new friends, new hobbies, but in that period before she has to die, at least you have happiness.
Fair.
Yeah. And then from Mayuri, we have Kirisu. Kirisu is such a cute little girl. She's such a, when we see her, I think she beats up Okabe because they were at a university center. I think she was presenting something. Okabe wanted to see her presentation, and then she ends up beating her. She's like, he's like, stop this. My research is not a game. Like he was like, yeah, I know your research is not a game, so we're in the same boat. And then they start working together. It's all well and good. So Kirisu suffers from trauma. So we learn about her background story. We learn about how she's into time travel and how she's just trying to escape her past. And I feel like from this, I just feel like everyone in this series should just stop experimenting with time. I think time is their problem in China.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Because what do you mean? Stop this. All of you.
Oh my god. It's actually crazy.
Like,
how?
No, China, they all need to stop.
The answer was just so... But I guess not that much because they just didn't want to let go. So fair play to them. And obviously they probably feel guilty that they did it in the first place, if that makes sense.
But from what I know, I don't think Kirisu and Ito remember the cycles.
Oh.
It's only Okabe and Mayuri who remembers what's been happening.
Oh. Fair play.
And
obviously he can't let go, so he tries to keep doing it and doing it.
And Mayuri's there because she loves him and she wants to support him. And she also wants to, if possible, stop her own death.
So if he had stopped, it probably all would just...
Everything would just fall on. So the problem here is one man.
Okay. It's always the man's fault.
Sometimes the man. It's like... And his assistant, he was also a man. I mean, problematic.
That person that mentioned starting jail.
Pretty sure it was you.
You're onto something. Was it me?
We had a conversation. You said, "This is my opinion." Phase. I said, "Wow, what a take on life."
No. That doesn't sound like an original thought. I don't think I said that. I think the other person said that. Okay. I think our other friend said that, not me.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure I had this conversation with you in the car at one point.
No. I don't think so.
You said the wildest thing, believe it, honestly, no.
It doesn't sound like an original thought of mine.
I promise. When I
really have
been
eyeliner.
honest, she says the wildest thing sometimes in her honesty. I just have to accept that that's her. Are you crying? Really? And
yeah, I'm laughing. But I've got eyeliner literally only here, so this can't drop. I think it's waterproof, actually.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, sorry, excuse me.
So, last and finally, Itaru. So he has low self-esteem and he's really into his otaku lifestyle. He's very secluded. If it wasn't for Okabe and it wasn't for his friends, I think he'll just be in his own little room playing games, not doing much. But he finds friendship, he finds a hobby, and he does great. So I think out of everyone, he's the least problematic of them.
They should have left him as a Neek. Oh, I didn't say that. It's not that.
He's the least problematic. It's not until he meets Okabe that his life turns upside down.
Quite literally.
So, All I'm saying is, from the get-go, the problem was time travel. If they hadn't started experimenting, maybe all this PTSD, all this trauma, all this survivor's guilt, all this low self-esteem would it be there?
I mean, he would have still had low self-esteem.
Okay, yes, he would still have low self-esteem, but at least he would be traumatized.
Less traumatized.
Less traumatized. Fine.
What's the thing? Oh, you know the thing with time and not messing with time and time getting you in Rick and Morty coming back to be
literally just yeah. Honestly, they need to put a pause on the experiments.
Yes. So for my people, I don't follow like a specific thing. Mine's just kind of everywhere. So I'll go with Hisoka, Shou Tucker, Shou Makishima, and Nagato. And I have one fun one, Deidara.
Deidara.
Yeah, from Naruto.
I know, but all he does is make sculptures.
Exactly. No, he bombs stuff. What do you mean all he does is make sculptures?
He
sculpts
sculptures
shit, it's a bomb shit. And then he goes, art is some, what does it say?
Art is explosive.
explosive.
Art is explosive. All he does is make sculptures, Uchenna. Little bird sculptures.
And you don't think he needs help?
No, I think it's perfect. He is. I love Deidara. He's funny.
Okay, so my first one, Hisoka. Psychosexual personality disorder, predatory behavior, intervention needed, mental health. He needs to be locked into in a mental health institution. It's not quirky to like little boys and want to fight them and wait for them to ripen. That's weird behavior. Yes, well, he's not actually done anything. All he does is fight them.
Fine,
and he gets sexual pleasure from fighting them. And when they reach their peak,
why do you not put that on sex offenders then?
It's predatory behavior.
It's almost grooming.
It's predatory. They want to fight. I am not a Hisoka apologist. However,
you know this line. I'm like, white and back. You're like on the grey.
However, yeah, I am on the grey. However, these two particular boys, they want to fight. They wanted to get to the Heaven's Gate, and if anything, Hisoka saved their life, because if they hadn't learned and grown and they'd gone into the Heaven's thingy, they would have died. So technically, he saved their lives.
Because he likes to watch them.
Because he likes to watch them grow into... He wants them to be adults. He wants to watch them grow into their full potential and then fight them. He doesn't want to fuck them. Let's get that straight. I don't think he has any sexual... Like, actual... The satisfaction, I believe, that he gets from it is... the fighting, because it's the same behavior he has with Crollo. It's got nothing to do with him wanting to fuck Crollo. He don't want to fuck Crollo. He wants to fight the guy, and he gets satisfaction from that. And he eventually did fight the guy, ends up dead, and then brings himself right back because he kind of thought there's no way he was going to win. And he had this thing in place. And I was watching something from one of my favorite YouTuber who talks about Hunter x Hunter. He also has a thing with he does another one for One Piece. His One Piece one is called Grand Line something, and his YouTube one, the Hunter x Hunter one, I think it's called like, oh, I forget. Anyway, he's really good. He pointed out something about Hisoka recently. He did a video and he was like, if anything, the only kind of person that Hisoka has like a sexual thing with is the Niddle lady. I forget her name.
Really and truly?
Yeah. Because remember when they were in York New and she was sewing him up? They had a little moment there. That's the only real sexual moment that I've seen in Hunter x Hunter that Hisoka has had. It was kind of like, what, are you sure you don't want to stay the night, that thing? That was the opinion that I got from that. That was the only interaction. Everything else has been very very dramatized, right? And I feel like that's on the people who do the animation and the writers. In my opinion,
I haven't read the manga, so I don't know.
So yeah, that I feel is just like for dramatics.
Okay.
And I feel like they're making it sexual. Maybe who you need to be focusing on is the animators that do that nonsense thing that they done with Hisoka there. Because fair enough, he gets satisfaction. I don't think it's, well, it could be sexual, but I don't think it's fapping up to it at night. I don't think so. I just think he likes the idea that he will eventually fight these kids. And it's the fight that moves him, I believe. But anyway, he needs help. They need to lock that one away, because why do you want to be fighting people up and down? Are you all right? Like, what's wrong with you? What happened to you as a child? Rubbish. Next, Shou Tucker. Take the keys and throw it away. Like, lock him up, take the keys, throw it away. Because someone should have called child services in the first place when that man lost his wife and asked him how did the woman, like, let's investigate that first and then take the girl away from him. But then there were technically no outward sign, but he was losing his mind because he did actually have help. There was quite literally, because the more I thought about it, it was just one single moment. It's always in the darkest moments that no one ever sees, where he'll be looking at that girl and that dog and what he's planning on doing. You could have never in a million years I've thought, because he was a loving father. He had financial resources. There was nothing. He just got to a point where the research was just more important, and he did what he did. So he's a psychopath. He's a narcissist because he hid those tendencies and those behaviors very, 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 very well. And he likes to play God. So at the point where he done what he done, my man should go to prison and forget him. And that's it. Don't use him eventually because his knowledge is forget he ever existed. And that's what I've got with that. Moving on to Shogo, Makishima Shogo from Psychopaths. He has this problem where I don't like people who do these in real life either. Obviously, he's a sociopath. He knows that for himself. But he has this philosophical ideas in his head, very grand, that he would want to do. He has these something of grandeur. I don't know what the something is, but he has these ideas that are just, and he would just be speaking Nietzsche as if Nietzsche wasn't some weirdo who couldn't have a wife. You know what I mean? Like, my guy was a loser. And he was out here quoting the guy like the guy was some great philosopher. You're also a loser because you're all upset that you're not like the rest of the people, and you want the little calculator to pick you out. Little moaner. Have another moan. What? Because it wouldn't recognize you. You decide, oh, I'm gonna start doing bad things. You didn't think, oh, let me be good instead. Let me go on some fuckery. Anyway, he needed drugs to be pumped into him.
How's that your solution?
Until I'm joking. Until the little calculator recognized him. What's the name of that thing? Denominator?
Yeah.
Was that? I forget what it's called, but anyway, the little gun thing. Definitely high security psychiatric treatment, but I feel like at the same time, you know that guy, the psychiatrist that the guy that I like, what's his name? Was seen, and the girl also started seeing as well. The psychiatrist.
Can't remember.
Anyway, that psychiatrist, I feel like if you've seen Psychopaths, you know, he should have seen that one instead of whatever it was that he was doing out there, because that one maybe would have set him straight, hopefully. He eventually becomes a latent criminal. Yeah. The psychiatrist himself. But he reads too much psychology, that's Makishima himself, and he uses that as a justification to commit all these atrocities and to do all these horrible things. And it's insane. So again, him too, lock him up and take his keys and his privilege and everything away. And like, fair enough, your little computer can't recognize him, but it can recognize his face. No, you don't have facial recognition. Like, because it's able to pick out that someone's there. It just says that they don't have this ready thing, but you can pick out that someone is there. So therefore, recognize his face, puts a specific thing in place for this specific man, and tell the gun to shoot. For goodness sake. That's what they had to do. That's all they had in the system, because someone created the system. They can override it. You can see what's happening and record it. And override and tell it to shoot. It should be clear cut. Anyway, that's just me. And my next one is Pain, Nagato. My guy.
He's been through a lot though.
That don't mean you should kill your mentor. I still hold that against you because that's what you did. To be honest, Naruto should have killed you, right? But that's by the by. That's the whole Naruto is. Just for the abandonment on its own, you know. But anyway, that's by the by. Guy has PTSD.
Yeah.
Dissociative behavior because sometimes he don't even recognize his friends from his foe. And he has this whole my way or the highway, your moral absolutism. Excuse me. That I feel like that's the issue with villains that we tend to see. It's like their way or no other way. And it's also internalized trauma that makes them radicalized. Like it radicalizes them to the point where it then becomes their way or no other way, right? Because of all the things and all the hardship that happened to Nagato, he believed his way was the right way, but it just turns out he was being manipulated anyway. Oops. Idiot. For this one, to be honest, I don't know what they could have done because they were all orphans and their friend died, and what was Yahiko? Yeah, the one with the orange hair anyway. He dies and he kind of just loses his mind, right, Nagato, and he starts off on this journey, and because of the type of power he has and the amount of chakra that he has, they kind of fall somehow into Akatsuki, and they end up being manipulated, and my goodness. And obviously the death of his friends, especially the paper lady as well. I don't even think he finds out that she was even dead, to be honest. Anyway, him being radicalized, right, to the point that, or him being very emotionally unstable to the point that he becomes radicalized by Obito and Madara, I think is what was very sad there. And unfortunately, there wasn't really much Jiraiya could do, I guess, but definitely some weird intervention there, and a reminder that, you know, I guess Naruto kind of did that, didn't he? Naruto likes his top no jutsu very much. Because Naruto didn't necessarily defeat him. Mm-mm. Naruto just kind of disarmed him with his ideals, and I guess radicalized him as well.
For the better.
For the better, of course. Yeah, it kind of talked him down, and so that obviously global peace, of course, is kind of what he wanted, but global peace by committing such atrocities, like, my goodness. What? Crazy. I could never do that. No way. It's not just my way. It's just my way. To be honest, I get it. I do get it. But at some point, I feel like regardless of which side you go on, left or right, there gets to a point where it's a bit too far and you need to calm your side a little bit. I'm a centrist, but I feel like it's not exactly good to be in the center because people are like, you need to choose. But look at the people in the left and look at the people on the right. You're all losing your minds. Are you all right? No, quite literally. That's a different conversation. Anyway, we can't let anarchy reign. Or can we?
On to the next.
My last and final. Deidara from Naruto.
As I said, Deidara is just fun.
Our little pyro.
He's an artist.
His artistic expression of explosion is fantastical.
Exactly.
And he needs to be put into a ward where there's no art, there's no fire. Everything is just boring. Because I promise you, if this man draws anything, he will turn it into an explosion somehow.
He'll be so bored, though.
He can't use his chakra either. We need to create some type of medication, inject it into him. He can't use no chakra. He can't be trusted.
Like a dampener.
Yeah. But what a sad life that will be for Deidara.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to be depressed.
So sad.
Then you're going to have to call him back in for depression. What then? You're going to have to call him back in for depression because...
Fair. But there was no need for him to join Akatsuki. He could have just been blowing people up randomly. But he just wanted more opportunity and a cause to blow people up and call it art. Arsehole.
Okay, then maybe he needs to find a different cause.
Outlet for his art.
Yeah.
Yeah. He could become a demolition artist.
There we go.
There you go, Deidara. Demolition artist. Mm-hmm. When they need a building to be pulled down, you draw your art, you do your little clays and your pots and your nonsense.
Even better, they could just hire you. Forget the whole department.
Yeah, exactly. Just you. With your fantastic chakra.
You have so much money.
You have so much money.
You can spread it out for the whole month if you want. Like a little bomb here on the Wednesday, a little bomb here on the Friday. Look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, a whole new career.
From village to village.
A whole new career for you.
There you go. the end of mine. I feel like that was quite interesting. That was fun.
I think Durarara is a great character.
Yeah.
As I told you, he's just a fun character. Nothing about him
Quite
doesn't
literally.
change.
Everything from his hair to the way he expresses himself.
His
and he
mannerisms.
flies on that little bird thing that he
Yeah.
makes. Fantastic.
Come on. You can't hate Durarara, apart from he's a murderer. But
You can hate. For sure you can hate. I'm sure he's done other things that I just can't remember.
okay, he's done things. But as we said, he just needs a different outlet.
Fair. Moving on to Red Light, Green Light. This is focused on Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. First, Roy Mustang.
He's a green. I love him.
Amber.
He's so cute.
I know. He's loyal. He's driven.
Yeah.
He's charismatic. He
He's a
wants to be a
commander.
leader. He is. However, he doesn't handle grief well. He did not handle Hughes' death well at all.
I know.
My man went on a rampage.
Would you not?
I mean, yeah, but
Exactly. He's a green light. He's fighting for the people he loves.
that he's blinded by rage. No.
Okay. He was blinded by rage, but I understand his range, so I'm still keeping him as a green.
Fair play. And he does have a great vision. Great vision for the people of what's the name of it? I don't remember. Anyway, great vision for the people of his land. Riza, Hawkeye, his assistant.
Also green.
Yeah,
She's
green
background character.
She's very balanced, very stable. She's very good for him. I feel like she
Keeps him in check
she
as
keeps
well.
him in check. Yeah, and she's good. She's good to the boys. She's just a good character all in all. And she's good with a gun. I love a woman with a gun.
Apparently so.
I do. Scar.
Amber.
Yeah, like at first red flag, but then it becomes an amber because obviously he helps out at the end. Mass murder's not the way, my guy. So it's good that he helped out at the end. So good for you. Louis Armstrong, the muscle guy.
I can't remember him.
Really, the one with the one with the sister.
Let me Google you.
Yeah, Louis Armstrong. Yeah, him.
Oh. I'll put him as a green.
Yeah, I'd say green. He's very funny, likable, stable, emotional, rightly so. And he's strong, very balanced.
Yeah, very temperament.
Yeah, and he can lift you as well.
Very much so.
Very much so. Second, his sister. Yeah, I'll take her too. But she's a number. Not fully.
Why
she's
is
not
she a
fully.
number though?
Right, so she's next. Olivia.
I'm going to keep her as green with her brother as well. I like them both together.
I like her. I reckon I'll put her in the same level I put Roy Mustang.
Why is that though?
She's an authoritarian, kind of. She's ruthless, unflinching, cold, even to her brother. It's so funny.
Look at her.
But I wouldn't put her in the same good as Hawkeye.
Have you seen her though?
She's badass.
That's
Look
what
at
I'm
those- Look at
saying.
those cold, dead eyes. You think that's a green flag? My God.
I like her though.
I like her. I'm not saying I don't like her.
her.
I love her. I think she's outstanding.
Yeah.
But Amber.
Because I like you so much. I'm going to keep you a green.
Very. Envy?
Envy is a small one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Envy's a little bitch.
Envy's a bitch.
He's red.
Fucking cowards. I hate Envy. Fuck you, mate.
Yeah, Envy.
He quite literally died of all his insecurities. Little shit. And you know what's so funny? He could shapeshift as well. Anyway, he committed genocide. I hate that guy. Reds. Fuck off. I'm glad the way he died. Shou Tucker.
Can't remember him.
Shou Tucker, the one who did his child. The he
the one who-
married his daughter and the dog.
Red.
Permanently so. You turned your child into a creature. My God. Unforgivable.
All for science.
Get out right now. Yeah, red flag. Agreed.
He's an amber. I don't hate him.
Yeah, I don't hate him either. Yeah, I'll say Amber. He wanted everything. He ended up sacrificing himself, so maybe I'll give him a green.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not so bad. He's actually I reckon it's quite good. Started out as like some selfish king type guy and then kind of ends it being selfless. That's adorable. Next is Kimberly. The
Kimberly?
arsonist. Yeah, the other fire one. The one who committed all the explosion in Scar's hometown.
Amber was an Amber because I don't remember her.
Him, this guy. No, you gotta know. Sorry, you gotta know this guy. Kimberly. Oh, yeah.
I still can't remember him looking at his picture.
Really? He was the bad guy of. They called him. He had a title of. It's. I don't want to say the name of the place wrong.
Crimson Alchemy.
Yeah. Where is it? The Crimson. Yeah, the Crimson Lotus Alchemist. Guy is a nihilist. He's literally a killer. Like, let me see him in action. This was him. This is him in action. But like the clip, but red. Don't give this one Amber. Red.
Red it is.
Red. How about this one?
Bradley.
Yeah.
Bradley's a red. He's an evil little child.
Salem. My God. He was the worst of them all. And then, like, he was the one that you didn't see coming.
I didn't think he was a bad character until the very end.
Until right at the end. Yeah.
And then we found out he's one of the original sins.
He's the main guy. Crazy stuff. Crazy. And then the last few, Ohenheim.
Owenheim is one of the scientists, right?
Owenheim is their dad. They're real, the boy is the real dad.
He's an Amber.
Yeah, I say
He
Amber.
abandoned them when their mother died.
Yeah, he worked out on his wife and his kids. Crazy.
But he wasn't Hercule himself, was he not?
He was just somewhat immortal. He was a philosopher's stone, I believe. I don't necessarily like. He was kind of a coward, because he was a slave and he wanted a better life. So he kind of got knowledge from the homunculi, the thing in the flask, and got knowledge from there and helped him. And then he realized there was a bad guy, and then he went away to the thingy side and met this woman, fell in love. Instead of him to fess up to all he's done, he decides, oh no, he's gonna run away. But he didn't just run away. He ran away so that he could learn what they were doing on the other side to. So that he could then come back and kind of fight homunculi, right? So
he should have said that to begin with. Well, he couldn't say that to his children.
Yeah,
but
right?
he could have told someone
so that. But I guess it was kind of dangerous, right? Because when he's found out, Hughes is dead. So it's a hard secret to keep because he had to go into hiding. So fair play. So that's why he's an Amber. Because why did you go off and have kids? I mean, I get that you fell in love and stuff, but anyway, side eye indeed. Right? But yeah, Amber, because he came back and he helped the boys and kind of he redeemed himself, I guess. So yeah, not bad. Izumi Curtis, the one who had a baby and she did the thing that the Elrics did, and it took away her woman's side, I think, and she's always coughing all the time, and she was the one that trained the boys, remember her? And she's always throwing stuff, super strong.
She's a green.
She's a green. Yeah, she just wanted her baby. It's just such a shame. Pride. Oh, we've already talked about Pride. He's the
red.
OG.
He's a red.
Like when they said flashing, red, like he's the worst of them all. But yeah, Salem's one of a kind. He's that Victorian boy that you just anyway. That's the end of red light, green light. This or that is next. Wait, do we have ship and skip it?
No,
oh,
we
yeah,
don't have ship and skip it.
Let's ship and skip it, right? Okay. Right, so this or that is the theme is which character would you trust with your life?
Okay.
Ha 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 ha. So Levi Ackerman or Gojo Sasori?
Gojo. I'm in love with Gojo. I think I've said this plenty of times.
Fair play, but I feel like Gojo would give up just because it's not fun anymore. Or like, because quite literally he gave up because like he wants to go meet his friends and it was like, he's dead now. He can see his friends all the time and he wanted to stay there. But I also feel... But if he's fighting for someone, you reckon?
Yeah, because when he was trying to rescue his friend, when he found out that he was being captured, he was doing his utmost best for him. Yeah, fair play. Even to the point where he was willing to go into his almost his weakest point to find out his friend.
But Levi would also do the same.
Levi would do the same.
He would fight.
But
so fast.
He doesn't have powers.
Fair play.
If it was between Gojo and Levi, they'll fight to the death. Even though
that's not fair. Of course.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like Gojo would win.
But like imagine in their own world. Well, I guess that's not really the case here. No. Is it? Fair play. All right. So Roy Mustang versus Kakashi. Who would you trust?
Roy Mustang or Kakashi? This is a hard one because I put them very much on par, So Roy Mustang has his fire powers.
Yes.
And then we have Kakashi who has lightning powers and he has his little
ninja.
Yeah, and he has a little dog that fights with him sometimes.
It's the copy ninja Kakashi for me. I'm so sorry.
So Roy
Mustang.
I don't know.
Don't underestimate my boy Kakashi.
I'm not underestimating him. I promise you, this is why it's difficult because I know they've both got so much potential.
But to save me, I choose Kakashi. He's got tracking skills and stuff. He's a ninja, of course.
Yeah, I suppose.
Any inconvenience, Roy would just be angry. And I'm annoying. Who would you choose?
I'm going to go with Kakashi as well, but it was very slim, might I just say.
Okay. Erwin.
Okay.
Yeah, from Attack on Titan. or Lelouch?
Lelouch.
Yeah, fair play. Killua
Okay.
or Sasuke?
To protect me?
Yes, to protect you.
Killua.
Yeah.
Sasuke's not loyal.
But when I think about it, Sasuke. If he's protecting me, like that's his job, right?
But you must be the highest payer, though. If the other person's like, I'll pay you 10 times more than you, it's like...
What, you think Sasuke... Sasuke is not moved by money.
Okay, Sasuke is not moved by money, but he is moved by his feelings. Quite literally, just his feelings. Killua isn't guided by his feelings. He's very logical in his thoughts.
Yeah, okay, but he's an assassin. I guess that is his job. But
Yeah.
if that was Sasuke's job, if we're just going to base it just on their powers, my guy has the Rinnegan. I'm choosing Sasuke.
I'm still choosing Killua.
Don't underestimate the Rinnegan. Okay. Next is Mikasa and Toka
Toka
from Tokyo Ghoul.
Mikasa versus Toka. On the basis that Toka does have powers, I'm going to go with her, but Mikasa,
really cool, yeah.
when it comes to fighting, Mikasa is much better.
Yeah, to be honest, I think I will go with Mikasa on this one. Because Toka, she got her has handed to her a few times.
She has.
And Mikasa ain't ever lost. Well, but yeah, so Mikasa for me. Shikamaru or... this one's a by-the-by. Shikamaru or Armin?
Shikamaru.
Yeah, Shikamaru. Yorichi or... Oh, you don't know who this is. So let's go Yorichi or Itachi to protect you.
Itachi.
Yeah.
He'll put anyone in a little spell, not as, like in
Just
a cycle. Yeah.
They'll
never escape that.
Tanjiro or Edward Elric to protect you?
Tanjiro.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know who I'd pick.
Because, what's his face? He's a Titan, but I
No,
guess...
Edward Elric. The main brother.
The main brother. No, I'm still going to go with Tanjiro. He's less hot-headed.
True.
And if someone's going to protect me, I want them to be, like, locked in.
Like, fair play. Yeah. I said, you know what? I see what you mean. And I like what you did there.
He would protect me with his literal life. Like, his way he protects his sister with his literal
Edward
life.
would too.
Edward would too, but I don't think he'll be, like, as focused.
You know what? Because Edward's smart. He's very inventive. I like Edward. I believe in you, Mr. Elric. So I'll pick you to protect me. Who's next? Ichigo or Naruto?
Oh, interesting. Ichigo or Naruto? I'm going to say Naruto.
I don't think Naruto is good on rescue missions. Ichigo, however...
But this is not a rescue mission.
He's been successful.
It's a protection.
Regardless. To be honest, I guess Naruto was good in his list. You know, when they were doing in actual Naruto, when they were going on missions, he was good with protecting people. So, you know what? Yeah.
It's not a rescue
Naruto.
mission. Rescue mission is a completely different story. Naruto's not great at rescue missions. He gets sidetracked with little side quests.
He couldn't even rescue Sasuke.
So that's what I'm saying. To protect someone, Naruto is fantastic.
Yeah.
But if it's rescuing someone,
Fair
it's
play.
someone else.
Yeah, okay. I agree with Naruto. All right. Akame from Akame ga Kill or Saber, Fate's Stay. Fate Zero.
They're very much on par, you know. They're very few swords. Both have people who want to protect. I'm going to say Akame because she's a little bit more traumatized.
Okay.
And Saber's not.
Spike from Cowboy Bebop
Okay.
or Nico Robin to protect you.
Spike.
How?
I'm so sorry, Nico.
I'm so sorry, you're dead.
Spike?
Nico Robin?
With a little gun. Pew, pew.
And he's going to do what to Nico Robin? Unless that gun has a thingy in it. It's a thingy bullet from the sea.
Side question. Have you watched the live action of Cowboy Bebop? I thought they were doing one.
They did do one.
Have you watched it?
No.
For people who have watched it, please let us know. Is it good? Because I'm considering it for this weekend or next weekend.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yagami Light
Okay.
or the lady in Akame ga Kill with the ice powers. I forget her name.
Light. All he has to do is write people's names who are attacking me in a little book. Did I have a heart attack in the 3
You'll
seconds?
have to know their name though.
I suppose so. But if I know my enemies by name,
It might not be them specifically that's trying to kill you. Your enemy could have died, but they could have hired someone to kill you. Contract out.
yeah. And sometimes people, if they contract out, once their pay is gone, what are they going to do then? They can't get paid.
How are they going to know that the person that's paying them is dead?
They'll try and contact them.
After you're dead?
No, not after I'm dead.
What, during? When they're out?
Like, because sometimes, right, the call is like, is there any specific things you want? Do you want us to like have a hand?
No,
Or do you want,
they would have
like-
made that clear from the get-go when you accepted the job, mate.
Like, do you want a little pinky? I don't remember.
I'll go with the thingy lady, the ice pie lady. I forget her name. Rukia or Hinata. Rukia.
I agree. Hinata's strong though.
She is, yeah. But Rukia still. And for you guys at home, who do you think would win between Escanor from Seven Deadly Sins and All Might from My Hero Academia? Let us know in the comments. That would be fun. No, not who would win, sorry. Who would you rather have protect you? Would it be Escanor from Seven Deadly Sins or All Might from My Hero Academia? Let us know in the comments. And that is the end of this episode. If you have enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, everything. Thank you. And if you haven't liked it, keep that to yourself. Thank you. We are open to
feedback.
Softly worded criticism.
I said feedback. I don't want criticism.
Oh, yeah, softly worded feedback. The critical thing here
Gentle.
Gentle.
Compassionate even.
Pat us in the head.
Compassionate even. Like, you're fantastic, but have you considered doing X, Y, Z?
Exactly, We're just girls. All right, thank you so much for listening, guys. Bye.
Bye.
All right.